All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Gadcast. As always, I'm your host, Mason, aka Osagad, and today is a very special episode, as you can see by my boys here. But as always, really quickly, I want to say, if you guys haven't seen the last episode, go check it out. I actually talk about how I'm quitting Minecraft roleplays and my story about how my writing has grown and what I want to do with that in the future. But anyways, enough about that. Go check it out. It's on the playlist. Today is a very special episode, number one, because I got my boys, Kelsey and Lydell, here. Say what's up, guys.
Hi.
And...
You don't talk, bro?
All right, so today we're actually going to be talking about kind of a controversial topic as of lately in the gaming world. Right now, I'm going to ask you guys this question, and I want your honest opinion. What do you think was one of the best games in the past decade?
God of War.
Kelsey, please help me with the segue. Please help me with the segue.
Last of Us.
Thank you. But I genuinely one of those people that The Last of Us is a top 5 game, in my opinion, for the past decade. That's just my opinion, but it is up there. And as you all know, in the gaming world, The Last of Us Part 2 dropped not even a week ago, right? It was last Friday, right?
Friday.
Dang, it's not even been a week. And I'm going to preface you guys with this. I couldn't finish the game. I'll get more into that in a little bit, but I couldn't finish the game, so I just reacted to the rest of it on stream. But for those of you that are probably going to be haters in the comments, like, oh, you didn't probably give the game a chance. You're a fucking idiot. Da, 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 da. I gave the game a chance. If y'all want to see how much of a chance, you can see just how many hours I played on my Twitch. You can check it out in the description below, and you can see all of my reactions and whatnot. These dudes actually hopped in the chat a little bit and watched what I was saying. We had a couple jokes to throw around, but it's we're going to preface this. Fair enough. Kelsey was over there being self-conscious about what he was saying.
I was.
All right, but anyways, so we're going to be pretty much talking about the story, the characters, what we like, didn't like about the game, and if you guys are easily offended by certain things and whatnot, and you're not, or if you want to avoid spoilers of this game, please click off the video because we will be talking about major spoilers of The Last of Us Part 2 and going into detail about characters and big plot points and whatnot. And it's gonna be kind of a shit show. And I also want to preface this specifically about me. For those of you that are gonna comment stuff like this, I'm not sexist. I'm not homophobic. I'm none of these things. I have my reasons for why I don't like a lot of the stuff in this game, and I will explain them. Thus, what are you doing over there?
Oh, what's wrong?
This man over here, Lydell. He's over there like. But yeah, so just want to put that out there. I will explain my reasons why. I've already done this multiple times on stream, but I just want to preface it. So if you're going to think that, and if you're personally going to get offended by our opinions, maybe try to reevaluate a couple things, because this is just a game, and this is just our personal opinions. And if you enjoyed this game, by all means, that's great. We don't want to take that from you. This is just our personal opinions. All right, so let's get right into this. To start off, let's start off with some positive things about the game. I want to start off, the game is gorgeous. This game is freaking beautiful. Like, from the literal opening of the game with Joel strumming the guitar, talking to Tommy, I was like, oh, shit. Like, for one of the bigger title PS4 games that are coming out, like, on the end of the PS4's, like, lifespan, this is a gorgeous game to have it as its end. I know Avengers is probably the next big game coming out, but I think this, like, I'm not going to get it. I'm not getting it. Excuse me. At least not for PS4, at least. I'll probably get it for PC. We'll talk about that in another episode. But yeah, this game is absolutely gorgeous. Like, the scenery, the open world aspect of it is just phenomenal. Like, Naughty Dog killed it with the graphics in this game, and it's one of the most beautiful games I've played. I'll give it that 100%. If you're someone who, you know, enjoys just stuff like that and you like good scenery, play this game. It's worth it for that reason, if that's all you care about, and if you just enjoy gameplay. Because I'll admit, I really like the gameplay in this game. I think it plays pretty well in the sense of stealth. I love the stealth aspect of the game. And these two are just like, I don't know, bro. But I don't know. I wanted to ask, what do y'all think of the gameplay? I'll start with Kelsey over here on my left.
It's you know, watching it looked really fluid, and I liked it. I liked how, are we saying? I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Are we saying spoilers?
Yeah, we already prepped spoilers again, just in case, you know.
Bro, okay, bro, don't come at me, bro. I didn't know. I wasn't listening, to be honest with you. So, you know, I like how it's two different play styles, kind of with Abby and with Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
That plays a lot to it, and yeah.
All right, Lydell, what about you?
I mean, probably play, different because Abby's a whole man. But we,
Bro, she can just be buff, bro. She can just work out.
That's true, by the way. That is confirmed because like all the rumors of the leaks that were like, oh, she's trans, this, that, it's actually not true, which is really funny.
Buff.
She's just. You can
she's
Google
a
it.
bunch of steroids.
I might be wrong, but I read something about that. I looked it up on purpose.
But I think it looks beautiful. I mean, it's The Last of Us, so I mean, Ellie is good. Joel was good for like 5 minutes. But,
Right.
You know, it was a good factors.
All right. So I want to address this because I want to talk about the best parts of this game. And there's a couple. There are some moments that I was like, okay, this is a good moment. But ironically, it's moments with one person and one person only. Can y'all guess who that is?
No idea.
Exactly. Lydell, our man's Joel. Any moment with him in the first flashback that we get almost made me cry when he brings her to the museum for her birthday. Dude, that shit broke me. That actually felt like The Last of Us. It felt like The Last of Us. And I was like, yo, where the hell has this been the entire game? Like, I would have loved to see older Ellie and older Joel kind of rekindle what they had for one last journey. And then you could still kill off Joel, just have it grow a little bit and have it be more emotional. Because let's be real here. We know they love and care for each other, but it's like you would have thought in this game, maybe it would have been officially said. I would have liked to hear that from at least one of them. Because, like... Yeah, something like that. Like, that is some real shit. Or at least, like, Joel, he didn't deserve what happened to him. I don't care what they were trying to write, anything like that. It was rushed because even still, like, after Abby kills him, we don't play as her for another, like, 7 hours to get the justification. So we're sitting there playing as Ellie, getting this revenge, and then out of nowhere, boom, 3 days early. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are we playing as her now when I've already killed all of her friends? Because then they're trying to build a relationship. I already killed these fucking people. I don't care about their relationship. Right? Like, I said that the entire time I was playing Abby's part. I'm like, can we just... And then I finally went on Google and looked up how long Abby's gameplay is, and I went, fuck this. And I couldn't finish it because I wasn't about to play as long as I did with Ellie with Abby. I wasn't, because it wasn't worth it. It just didn't feel like a genuine connection. But no, it didn't feel like a genuine connection about it. But we'll get more into her character and stuff like that in a minute. But I definitely think the best parts of this game are the moments with Joel and Ellie and the flashbacks. They felt genuine, and they felt like some real Last of Us type of shit, where it feels like some genuine losses in there, some real like character development, and I love that. But sadly, it doesn't matter because it's not a part of the main story for the most part. Besides, like the one where spoilers, Joel tells Ellie the truth about what happened in the hospital, which that's heartbreaking as shit. The moment she's like, "You and me, we're done," I was like, "No," this just hurts, man. It fucking hurts. But at least we knew, though, from this game, she still gives a shit about him. At least we knew that much, because, like, that's one thing I was like, okay. But anyways, yeah, what did you guys think were some good moments of this game? If you have any, just be honest.
I felt like this game was the Game of the Year candidate. The story made you talk about something, even if it was good or bad. It had different elements. Obviously, Mason almost cried in a few of the story elements. So, maybe it's just because, it's Mason.
Right, he's a crybaby.
Screw you guys.
And I mean, it made you feel some type of way when Joel died, which is crazy. And so, I mean, even though I don't think it's one of the best games of 2020 at all, but again, you have to think about the games that did drop, and which is not that many.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So compared to that, I mean, it's Game of the Year. So I give it. It's Game of the Year.
It's Game of the Year.
You do realize that we're only halfway through 2020, right? Not even.
Realize
Oh yeah, we are halfway.
Mainly most of the games was canceled, and mostly
A lot of them are pushed. Like, dude, did you hear Cyberpunk got pushed again?
Yeah,
Two people are so pissed.
bro. I was like, really? You can't finish the game?
What was it pushed to? Like November?
Yeah, November.
Jesus. We'll get into that shit in another episode, but damn. But yeah, that's what you think. So like, even if it's like not the greatest game in the world, it had like people talking and stuff like that, and you think it's a good candidate.
Talking,
Okay.
So I mean, I guess that's what you want from a game, to have you talk about it.
That's actually a fair argument. I'll give you that. Honestly, I haven't heard anyone say that, so that's a really good argument. I'll give you that. What about you, Kelsey? Anything good you can say about this game?
You want to know something good? I'll tell you something good. Let me tell you about the babes in this game, bro.
Actually, I'll make a comment on that in a minute.
Ellie?
Abby.
Abby too.
Okay, let me put this out here. I said this in my stream. I don't think Abby's like ugly in the face at all.
She's
but
not.
but her stature and her arms are like just too big, you know. And that scene with her and Owen, that was really awkward for me to watch. That was really awkward.
She has a really pretty face with a Thor body.
Yeah, pretty much. She's built like Thor. I love how they literally, later in the game, I remember when Ellie's trying to find her and has the dude intimidated. She's like, "We picked up Abby a couple months ago. Like hair like mine, built like an ox." And I was like, oh shit.
Bro, she is so beefy, bro. I was like, you know.
Why did you like roll back your eyes when you said that?
Hey, that's what steroids do to a person.
Yo, honestly, it doesn't look natural. That's why I feel like it doesn't look.
She really doesn't.
That's the issue. Like the arms look bigger. I bet you they're bigger than her legs.
Probably, bro.
But
she got, But Dina's where it's at though. Dina is where it's at. I would, marry Dina if she wasn't. Well, she's bi, so
Yeah, we had this conversation on stream because I'll tell y'all about this. We were on stream and he's like, dude, Dina's bad, bro, but sadly I can't hit that because she's not into dudes. And I was like, but didn't she date Jesse? And this is his exact reply. He goes, "You're right." And wait a minute, I feel like that was pretty good of you because you do that a lot. Where you're like, "You're right."
Look, so what really made me like, I'm like, this game is fire. Is this one scene? And it was Abby. She was getting attacked. And she was like at this house, whatever. And the girl that's trans, did you say, Kelsey? She was trans.
Yeah, Lev.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's a dude who's trans.
And
no, it was a girl because her sister says that she was gonna get married, but he didn't want to.
Wait, you said she and then he. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, right. Never mind.
She shaved her hair and everything.
Right.
She was firing arrows at the people attacking Abby. This guy came out of nowhere.
And the fat dude.
It's fine, dude. We told people if they're easily offended to click off, so it's okay.
We hit the shit out of her. Hit the fucking garage door. Him, her, she, be, key.
They.
She be key. Yes, sir, ma'am, boss, poop.
And then hit the shit out the garage door. It was so funny.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, I forgot.
Like
I forgot about that part.
The person gets hit and then they just bounce off the garage door.
You know what that reminds me of? I was watching a clip on Twitter, and this YouTuber H2 Delirious, he was playing through the first game, and he's going up to a clicker, and he's swinging as Joel, and one of the swings you see hits Ellie in the face, and you just see her go, ugh. She falls back. It's an amazing clip. I love it. But yeah, so that moment was really funny. Actually, I forgot about that because I saw that all over Twitter, and someone captioned it, "This is my sum of The Last of Us 2," and it was just that good. But yeah, that's a really good moment. All right, so is that all we have to say in the sense of positives about this game?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna start this off with some characters. Kelsey, I know you love her, but I gotta call her out real quick. Dina is a waste of a character. Let me tell you why. Let me ask you this question. Kelsey, let me ask you this question. Why should we care about Dina? Why do we care about Dina? What's the one reason we care about her and the only reason we care about her?
She's a baddie.
That's even more mature than what I was going for.
That's crazy. She's like, you're not even. You said she a baddie, so that's why we care, bro. She don't even have no story arc or nothing.
Well, she doesn't. She doesn't. That's what I'm getting at. The only reason we care about her, I'll tell you exactly why. It's because she's Ellie's girlfriend. That's the exact reason we care about her. We don't get to see any development of their relationship. They kiss once, they fuck once, and that's it. And then automatically it's babe, I love you, this, that, and like, what the fuck is that? We got more relationship between Ellie and Jesse than them, because later when Jesse and her go out, Jesse actually tells stories about his life before the apocalypse and with his mother and when he was a kid, and stories she would tell him and how Ellie and him react to each other. That's like really good friend shit. And I'm like, that's really, really good character development in my opinion, because it feels natural. It doesn't feel forced. It's not just there. And I'm one of those people who believes if you're going to have representation in a game, don't just have it to be there and it not feel genuine. Because then, if anything, that's more fucked up, in my opinion. If you're just having it to have it and it doesn't feel real, in my opinion, that's more fucked up. And in my opinion, Ellie and Dina's relationship doesn't feel real through 90% of the game. The most real I'd say the relationship felt was at the end when they're living in their home and they start like dancing in the kitchen with the baby, having a good time. Like, that's the most real thing I think I saw between them. And it was like a short moment. And then we all know what happened with her and what happens with her and Dina. That shit made me mad. I'm not gonna lie, that really did. And I'm one of those personal people
Why
that
did it make you mad?
because I get it. She, my opinion was Dina didn't get it. She didn't know him. She didn't have a connection with him like she did. And yeah, sure, she was mad at him at the end of the game, but that's her father, dude. That's really her father. And she lost him. And even then, that was messed up of Tommy to do that, though. I'll give it that. But even before he showed up, she was still having PTSD. It's not like she was perfectly fine about it. So when she needed to deal with it, she needed to deal with it. And I don't think that was fair that Dina gave her an ultimatum. That's my personal opinion. Because it's like, you got to have faith in your girl. You got to have faith in her. It's in my opinion. But I also get it. But I also do get it because it's like she loves her, doesn't want to lose her and all that. But at the same time, I feel like there could have been a middle road there. Because that's someone that meant the world to her and it was taken away from her. And I know it's because of Joel's mistakes and all that, but that's because it was written that way.
That's true.
Like, it didn't have to be that way. Like, I have a good story plot idea that could have been for this game that I'll say a little bit later. But, yeah, Dina, in my opinion, wasn't really a good character. She was just... There's a lot of caricatures in this game, not characters. There's a lot of different caricatures in this game. You have the typical girlfriend. You have the typical boyfriend guy that just broken up with her. That's the cool, chill dude who's going to help you out or whatever. You got Tommy, who, in my opinion, is just... You always have that extra connection to... Oh, I know his stereotype. His stereotype is the guy who says, no, don't go out on your own, and then goes out on his own. He's that stereotype. And then Ellie's just... those games where typically it's the father loses a daughter. He's this rough and tough 30-year-old man who's been through a lot, who needs to get revenge for losing his family. That's this game, but gender swapped with Ellie. It's like, dude, there's so many different like stereotypes of caricatures in this game. It fucking sucks. Like, that's my issue. None of these relationships really feel that genuine, and these characters don't feel real. That's why I didn't give a shit about half of them. I cared about Jesse, and they shot him in the face in a quick second.
Bro, when I saw that, bro, I was like, oh, they just bodied him like that? Really?
And then yeah, exactly. And it was with a quick and clean bop to the face, and he's just down. And I'm like, Abby, what is your aim?
Surprised Joel literally got his leg shot off, and then his brains was on the freaking pole. Like, are we surprised that?
Bro, did you see? I remember that, bro. First of all, I was watching something, and they were like, "Really? You just met these people, and you're really saying, oh, my name is Tommy, and this is my brother Joel."
That's another thing I have. Joel and Tommy are nothing like they were in the first game, and it's stupid. Like, the Joel in the first game would not trust anybody, didn't care to talk to anyone, would just do what he needed to do. This game, hi, my name is Joel. It's my brother Tommy. It's like, what the fuck? Like, dude, you just met these people.
I guess because he probably is becoming a different guy. He protected.
Maybe living in Jackson for so long and having like a group of people maybe changed his ways a little bit. That might have been, but again, they don't show us that. That's the issue. Is like we just have to believe it. Like, no, I'd like to see some of this stuff. I get like I don't feel like I'm nitpicking though. That's the thing. I typically do, but I don't really feel like I'm nitpicking as much because the whole good thing about the first game was we built up this relationship with Ellie and Joel, and we got to actually see the love and care between them. And even when we didn't really get to see much with Sarah and Joel, his actual daughter, we knew there was something there just because of how they reacted between each other in the first scene. That's good development in my opinion, and they've shown that they can do it in short times, but they didn't do it with this game, which really surprises me. So I don't know, that kind of I don't.
I feel, and I told Kelsey this, I feel like Last of Us 2, like, literally they didn't have to make a second one, but I felt like they was just like, let's make a second one just to make a second one. And they didn't, and they at first had a different story, then changed in mid. After they was like, oh, we do this, and then mid, they was like, you know what, let's switch that story and do this story. And I feel like, and I told Kelsey, I feel like if the first one, since they was like wasn't planning on the second, I feel like if the first one, if they was planning it, then they should have made the arc where Joel killed the doctor, made it more feel important than just walking in there and the doctor like, oh sir, you can't be here, and then shoot him, and then get Ellie, and then y'all walk out, and then whatever, and then
right. You should have shown.
Like
you should have shown what you saw in the second one, right then, or like around that time.
Right, and then then that's when we like, oh, now we know more details on it. I don't know. I feel like they rushed a lot of things at you in the beginning, and then it was like, oh, let's just put backstories here and here and here and here and go here and there, and then it's just, I don't know. I felt like they try to do a lot, and because they was just like, let's make a second, let's make it. But I mean, again, it got you to talk, right? So I guess they did that good. Wait,
I think it's out of order to me. Like when I'm watching it, and when it's out of order. Like like that
like
whole
compare, like even though this is a game, but compare movie Underworld, right? Underworld 1, 2, and then you have 1, 2, and then Rise of the Lycans, right?
yeah,
Lycans was a backstory of a story that we already knew from 1 and 2 because they kept talking about it, and then this one in this game is like it's like, I don't know. It felt like it was just they threw everything at you, just boom, 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 and it didn't give you much time to digest anything. And it was just like, all right, bet Joel now dead 5 minutes in, and then now we're playing as Abby, and then now we like what, bro? Now we like Abby's revenge, and then now we're doing freaking Ellie's revenge, and then it's just like, and then Ellie don't even kill her at the end. Like what, bro?
Well, here's what I think they were trying to go with. Abby spared her, she spared Abby. I think that's the point they're trying to, is they grew from it or whatever the fuck. But here's my thought process on that. I actually like that they did that, because that kind of shows that even though she was willing to, she didn't go through with it, and that is actually development. That is character development. I like that, but at the same time, like, you put us through this fucking game and not even do it, and you make our main girl lose everything, literally everything.
Right.
Even her fingers, which, oh, that was brutal. Watching that was fucking brutal. I don't like biting, bro. Watching biting in movies and stuff like that and losing, I hate that shit. Like, in Lord of the Rings, at the end of the Return of the King, when Gollum bites off Frodo's finger, I can't watch that, bro. That shit's so gruesome. Even though you're not really seeing it, it's still like you hear the crunch, and I hate it. But anyways, I actually want to mention that one other good thing about this game. You know the scene when Ellie breaks in the hospital and she's chasing Nora down, and she's like standing there just breathing the spores and looking at her, and she's like, I can make it quick, or I can make it worse, or something like that. And you could see her swinging at her, and then the scene afterwards, fucking Lydell. You see the scene afterwards where she's just like freaking out about it because she's never done anything like that before. I really like that. I thought that was really good, really well done. Was like, you see that she's willing to, what she's willing to do, that's how much she cared about him. I think that was pretty good.
I feel like it would have been better for the second one, to been kind of better if they kind of did the approach, like they did do it in the game, but it wasn't like this will be like the main focus of Ellie being like, oh, after what Joel told her, and it was a lie, and then now she's like, oh man, I can't even trust you no more, and then it's just like this big thing where she's like pretty much trying to do things on her own because she can't trust Joel because she thinks that he's a bad guy and like she's doing all this stuff and blah blah blah, and then it would be more of a story there because of what happened at the end. I felt like they was just like, you know what, let's bring in Abby and make her look strong, real strong, and murk everybody. And
Literally
it's a good
though.
story. And I feel like I think it would be cool too. Like I like that the story development that she didn't kill Abby, but I felt like Joel, because he lost his daughter and everything, pretty much made him feel like, oh, like, and then he lost what's her name in the beginning of Last of Us?
Was it Jess? Is that her name?
Tess.
Tess. Thank you.
And but since he lost his daughter and stuff like that, he pretty much lost a lot of things too. So it made him become more like I don't care as a character and just like, oh, I don't trust you. So I felt like we should have like I felt like Ellie should have been like a Joel-esque. Now that she lost everything, she should have been like, I don't care anymore. Like, what is there to gain? Or I'm not losing anything because I lost everything. So then she'll become a Joel-esque character because she lost everything too. So
Damn, all right.
That would be like a cool story element with that. Now we know, like, damn, Ellie went dark.
Well, here's the thing too. They try to do this whole revenge plot thing. Then you compare it to the first game. Like you said, Joel lost everything. What did he do? Nothing. He just lived on. He had to deal with it. He didn't go batshit. He didn't try to be like, I'm gonna kill every single one of these motherfuckers and lose his shit. He didn't go fucking batshit about it when he easily could have. And that's why I think the first game is really good as well, because we saw his grief. We saw, we didn't see him just go nuts and be wasted by killing a bunch of people. Which, by the way, where the fuck are the clickers in this game? You kill more people in this game than you do fucking clickers. Like, what the fuck, man? Like,
to be honest with you, in the first game, I really couldn't stand them. But
in what way? Like, were they just hard to kill, or are they annoying? Like, what way?
because like, so first of all, my aim is for shit. So,
Say, dude, you watch my stream? You watch my stream? It's shit.
Both is not fair.
So, I try to shoot at them and I miss, and then they just come and attack me. And
Yeah, bro.
smack
That's
them
how
in
they
the
make
face, and then I die. And
The sound effects are really good, by the way.
But I do like the fact that when you die, you instantly, it's not instant, but it's like quick. Like you come back in the game real quick. You don't have to
Yeah, that's true.
long ass loading time. That like.
Actually, this was interesting. So, another thing I want to talk about too is what you were saying about the order being wrong. I feel like, what if they started the game with young Abby in that scene with her dad? What if they started the game that way?
Yeah, that's what I said with
Yeah, that would have been interesting. And then you pick up there, and then you show what's going on in Jackson maybe, and then you can do that. But at the same time, I still have this idea. So maybe you do something like this. You do show that, and then instead of Abby killing Joel right away, maybe what she does is, like kills someone close to him or does something to get him to try and come to her, and knowing he'll do it out of like instinct on his own, get him on his own, so that way they can then do what they need to do, and then it sparks up this thing where he's gonna leave, like she kills Tommy or something like that, or burns down Jackson or some shit, her and her people, and it starts up this. Still, if you want a revenge plot, you can do that, and you can have like Joel want to go, and Ellie's gonna be like, well, if you're going, I'm going too, and then I guess if you want Dina there, you can have her too. I don't know. I just like, you could develop that and still give us an adventure with these two characters, and then by the end of it, you can have Joel kind of grow, and he's willing to give up his life to like maybe save Ellie's or something like that, kind of in a reverse situation where instead of like no one getting saved from the first game, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna finally do something right. I'm gonna do right by you for everything I did wrong. And
all that sounds great, but again, they wasn't planning on it too. So
yeah, I know that's.
Like, it's like me, you, Kelsey, we all know they could have been a way better story you could have come up with. Or again, if you want to use Abby, you could find different ways to use Abby.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
And like, do I like the look of Abby? Her face, yeah, obviously, her face, it's fire, but her body type not fire.
Her stature, Arnold.
But it's different ways you can find and to have Abby inserted into the story, and it's still different ways where you can have Joel live for longer than how he lived,
Mm-hmm.
and freaking just. I mean, I understand you wanted to be like, oh, Ellie saw it. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You know what I think is the worst moment in the game? Like,
Wow.
the absolute worst. I want to play the clip, but at the same time, I might put it on Twitter because it's fucking hilarious. It's the scene when Dina and Ellie are in the subway and Ellie's mask breaks, and she's like, I'm immune. Do you see? I'm breathing. I'm not, coughing. And then they run and they get to the theater, and she's trying to explain it to her, and Dina's giving her shit, and then out of nowhere, I'm pregnant. Like, what the fuck is this stockpile of drama? Which, let me add this on too. They threw as many drama plots in this game as possible, and it's horribly like shown. It's just it doesn't work. It just doesn't, because like you have this pregnant plot, you have her learning about the immunity and still keeping that a secret. You have the revenge plot. You have like, what the fuck? There's too many things going on in this game for me to be like, and again, I didn't give a shit about Dina. Like, if she died, I would just be like, oh, whatever. And, I get it, the whole baby thing, but it's just like, why do I care, though? Because I don't. Like, she's just there as a caricature because it's like, oh, if Ellie loses her, Ellie's going to go even more crazy. That's the only reason we care. And it's just like, I don't care. But that entire moment in that game, in my opinion, is like the worst moment in the game, because it just felt like pushed drama that didn't feel natural in the slightest. Like, wow.
If it was a Telltale game, it would be amazing.
For real though.
True.
Dude, rest in peace, by the way, to Tell. They're done now, right? Like, their company like collapsed, right?
Yeah, their company's gone, but people are still trying to make their games.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
But like, okay, Mason, you played the game, so there was
like
a problem.
like 80% of it, yeah.
There was a problem in The Last of Us that kind of was like, that's kind of crazy. So when you had Joel and Ellie, and when we be fighting, even if it's freaking clickers or if it's humans, tell me why. And I don't know if they do it in 2. But tell me why I'll be in cover, Ellie is on the side, and the guy walks in, sees Ellie, but don't shoot, but he sees me?
Yeah, so I was gonna bring up one of the really other bad things about this game is companions. They fucking suck. I remember I went out on a balcony. I was like, oh shit, I gotta grab more things inside. Dina's standing in the way of the window. I'm like, fucking move, Dina, fucking move. And every time I'm in cover, Dina, like, I'm down like this. You got Dina. Just walking around. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's just like, they didn't fix companions. Companions are the fucking worst in this game. They really are. And that's one, like, oh my god. In moments like this, right? So you're playing as Abby and you're walking around in like Owen's like aquarium place. And I swear to God, I'm sitting there waiting for him to move to the next part so we can just move along with the story. It took like 2 minutes. I'm sitting there walking around this place like, okay, Owen, please move to the next thing. Like 2 minutes later. So yeah, look over here for this. I'm like, for fuck's sake, finally. Like, I was waiting for like a good minute to get through the stupid conversation parts just so I could move on with the story. And that takes like a half hour on its own because the NPCs can't do shit apparently to move it along, and I don't know where to go.
And
So
it was like freaking, I would be walking and Ellie would be like, I'm like all the way over here. Ellie's like right here, bro, and I'm like, bro, come on, speed up, bro. And she's taking her time, like we're not going through a like freaking. No, bro,
Like, this isn't time sensitive. Come on.
It's crazy.
I gotta add on to this too. It's with this overall story of like what it is, I predicted the shit out of this game. Because it's the typical plot of gotta get revenge, fail, try again, fail, try again, fail, try again. Oh, doesn't matter. We have to go back home. Villain shows up, kills your friends. Like, it's so predictable. Because the moment I saw them looking at the map and ready to go home, I was like, oh yeah, where's Abby? She's gonna show up. And next thing I hear, boom, boom, and I'm like, yep, there you go, on cue. I was like, this shit is so predictable, and I'm like, this is the issue with revenge plots. It's easily predictable. It really is. And by the way, how are they going to make you play as Abby, go up to that point, and then beat the shit out of Ellie? Like, why?
Bro, she's
I mean,
Arnold, bro. She just beating ass.
Do we like if we look at freaking Abby and Ellie? Do you think Ellie?
Right?
No, but what I'm getting at, no, but what I'm getting at is this. What I'm getting at is this. Why are you gonna make us play as Abby? We know she can beat her ass. like,
I understand what you're saying.
it's also hard to do that though. It's hard for me to do that. I would almost just let her kill Abby. But see, I wish this game had multiple endings because you know what you could do is you could have bullets in her gun, and if you actually shoot Ellie, you can kill her, and that can be you can do that and have different cutscenes, or you could do the one where you let her live. You can do one where maybe Ellie kills Abby. You can have multiple endings in this kind of game, but they didn't do it, which is really surprising.
Apparently, though, in the first one, and it was her Kelsey, who was a streamer, that he played Last of Us at the end, and he said he didn't even shoot the doctors. He was able to just get Ellie out.
Oh man,
And if that is the truth, then 2 don't make sense.
Yeah.
You're just like,
That's how you know they just wrote this game this way, not to really connect to the first one. That's how you know. That's bullshit. They should have made it to where you had to kill them then and then. Wow, thinking about that, what the fuck?
It would have been tough if the characters, like Abby's like, you killed my father, and I'm like, I didn't kill your father. What are you talking about?
And it was someone else.
Like, I didn't lay a hand on your father. What are you talking about? And then just be like, it was you. And then it'd be like, nah, bro, this game, like, it don't make sense.
I didn't do that, bro. I didn't do that.
What if they did like a twist thing, right? Because you had what's her face? Who was the chick that in the hospital was like, she's a girl, you know, you can't do that to her. Who was the one that was her first fighting it? The chick that Joel ends up killing after you save Ellie. I forgot who her name is, but like, what if you have a thing?
Talking about the black chick.
Yeah. What if you have a
Marley.
twist? What if you have a twist where Joel doesn't kill the doctor, but she does or something like that, because she's also maybe on Joel's side, but Joel kills her thinking she's trying to stop him, and that's what gets Abby to think it was Joel or something like that. I don't know. Like, that would have been an interesting little twist. That way, like, Abby kills Joel and she like feels guilt and she's like, oh fuck, what did I do? You know, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's so many different plots you could do, but they just went with stereotypical plots, and I hate that. That just proves they really simplified this game just to give us a game that's titled The Last of Us 2. Like, you know it's going to make money just because of the title. It's the same reason Marvel makes a lot of money. Same reason Star Wars makes a lot of money, because of the title. That's the biggest reason. So, you know this game's going to make money. I'd say it's 60-40 in the sense of percentage of, like, good and bad reviews. I'd say more leaning in the negatives for people, but it's close to middle road. Like, there's people that like it, but there's so many things they could have done better. So many things with this. And another issue I have is I've run out of ammo in so many spots, and I'm like, yo, how do I gotta take on these beefy motherfuckers with these, like, pickaxes with only 2 bullets, and they can take, like, 50? Like, hell no, I'm not gonna be able to play this part. But I'm trying to, like, what do you guys think of each of the characters? I was actually gonna ask, because I was talking about characters. What do you like or don't like about each of the characters in this game? I'm curious.
I mean, I love Ellie, but I felt like I understand why she would be mad at Joel, but at the same time, I felt like to me personally, playing the game, looking at the story, and I feel like he didn't really do anything wrong. He was protecting her from pretty much dying.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like she was just like, oh, you and not actually like listen and actually like see his side of it, but she was just thinking, you know, it was going to help. And I feel like that's just her problem, was not to just listen, and she just was like, we're done, and drop him just like that, and then all of a sudden he ends up dead. And then, you know, and it's just like,
to help that point, I was watching one of my streamers that I watch, and he was talking to his friend about it. They both had finished the game, whatever. So the friend he was talking to was like, in the first one, they didn't say that it would work. Them doing the surgery on her would work, and she would, like, that would cause the cure. They only said it might work. So
that is
and it's like in this one they were like, oh, that was gonna work. Like she's like in her mind she's like, that's gonna work. You know, it would have worked if you weren't so selfish, Joel. But then it's like, you know, you never know. You know, you could have just
But
died there.
yeah, and you hear in the dialogue. I remember too. They like it's like the stuff in her brain, the growth that her brain has enhanced or whatever, and there's a chance it can be manufactured into a cure. Right. And I'm like, okay, what's the percentage here? Is it 80-20, 60-40? You know, like what's the sitch here? You gotta keep us posted, because that's the thing. They don't. I guess it's again for that suspense type of scenario type of stuff. You know, where it's like, oh, what's gonna happen? You know, and it's like, actually, I wanted to bring up. This is one of my favorite scenes in the entire game. Is the end of the game, when she goes back and she plays the guitar and she goes to that moment on the porch, when she talks to Joel. I almost started crying at that. But like, dude, that's heartbreaking, man. That was their last wholesome moment together.
Bro, PG was crying at that too, bro. No cap, bro. He was crying at that too, bro.
Yo, like, there's actually another specific topic that has to do with this game, kind of, that I want to bring up. That's kind of funny to talk about, but we get into that in a minute. That moment, seeing that and realizing that they were gonna work things out, and then them taking Joel away, that hurts even more, because it's like, and she can't even play the guitar now, because she lost her fingers, and that's the last connection she had to Joel. That was like a personal thing. Like, Tommy ain't sure as hell ain't gonna talk to her now. Like, where do you think she's going at the end of that game, dude? I don't think she's going back to Jackson.
I guess she's going on her own, you know?
See, here's the thing that scares me. There's rumor that they're gonna make a third game and it's gonna focus on Abby. I don't want that. I just want them to end here.
Bro,
I just don't care. I do not care. They tried to get me to give a shit about her in this game.
What, bro?
Because here's the thing, her and the dude are still, her and the person are still alive, and
it's a dude. It's whatever.
They're still alive, and there's a lot of talk that they're gonna make a third game, but Abby's gonna be the focus, and I'm like, please just end here. Please just end it here. I'm tired of the woke shit they got going in these games, in this shit, man. I don't want more of that.
Look, don't get me wrong. I love gays, I love transgenders, I love single type, you know. But I feel like in an age that we are in, they try to force feed it because it's the agenda of you know, people would be like, oh my god, that should be this and that should be that, and then it's just like sometimes, and for stories you don't need, like, it's not like because the developers or anybody like that are like, we don't like trans or nothing. It's just sometimes the story don't call for it, and then when you force a character into it, and it just doesn't make sense. And I feel like they just try to be like, oh, we have that in there, so y'all should like it, yeah. And it's just like, you didn't really, like, you're just kind of forcing it in there, like, you know. It's like when people want to be like, how people was talking about how freaking I'm trying to think, going to movie wise, like Lion King, how Scar's supposed to be gay, and it was like, I don't think he was.
He's
gay.
a whole liar. To be honest with you.
He's a whole lion. Like Kelsey.
It's a cartoon. He's a sponge.
Didn't they make Dumbledore gay?
I mean, he was laying the pipe.
She's crazy. No.
Yo, J.K. Rowling, what the fuck are you doing?
She's crazy.
What?
J.K. Rowling, the writer of Harry Potter, who said all this weird, like, PC shit. But yeah, let me jump on what he just said. Again, we want to say this: we're not homophobic, we're not sexist, we're not any of that shit. I completely agree with Lydell when he says it almost feels forced. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel genuine. And in my personal opinion, that feels more wrong to those people. You know, if you want good representation, you got to make it feel real. Don't just force it in there and be like, all right, we got a trans in there, we got lesbians in there, we got black people in there, we have all Asians, we have all these people in there. We're doing great. Are you though? like again, I don't care if you have this stuff in the game. Just if you're gonna make it a big part of the game, and like be a big focus, make it feel real. Because I knew Dean and Ellie's relationship was going to be a huge focus, and it was. I didn't care. I really didn't. And I'm like, that's all their fault because they wrote it like shit. And I just wish that wasn't the case. I really, really wish that wasn't the case.
It's a scene that I think all of us seen when the first trailer, either it was the first or second trailer of it, and it was a man walking through a building, and she, so it's like he's walking through the building, whatever, blah blah blah, pretty much being Joel, and he goes into the room where Ellie's in, and I think she's playing.
Oh yeah, the first ever trailer that came out, yeah. And I remember she says something like I'm gonna kill every last one of them or something like that.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And that wasn't even.
Yeah, right. Like, what the fuck was that? They actually made it seem like their adult relationship was gonna be a thing, and then they just like, what the fuck?
They're like, bye.
Like, yo, I was hyped because like because I thought we were gonna get to see older Joel and Ellie like bond a little bit and maybe have a little weird separation thing. I don't know, but it's like you could have had all these plots and made it work and had them grow again and grow that connection and finally get the freaking words in there we've been wanting them to say to each other since the first game, or just like some type of, you know, like thing, maybe like you're the best thing that's ever happened to me or something like along that line. Right. Like anything that shows that indicates the I love you line. Like I would have loved that, man, because like Ellie is definitely the best thing that ever happened to Joel since his daughter. 100%. Like you see it in the first game. Like I love it. I love it to death. And I went back and watched like all the cutscenes of the first game. That I think is the most real relationship I've seen in a game in a long time. Like that, I'm only saying that because it shows you can have an apocalyptic world, but still have real world elements. Oh, look at the kitty. Wait, when did you get a cat?
A long time ago.
All right. Anyways,
you got her like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Anyways, but yeah, I definitely think we should wrap up in the sense of our opinions, and then I have something else I want to talk about that's going to be a little funny at the end. But so overall, what would you guys rate this game? 1 to 10. Be honest, because again, like we've been being honest this whole time. So just say what you think.
7.
You give it a 7? Okay.
I give it a 8, just because it's crazy talking. That's why my point is, I got you talking. It's just crazy.
I got you talking.
And it's just some surprise. I mean, it's not because stuff came out, but some surprise elements that they actually killed Joel really early and
2 hours.
Right. So I just feel like for me, I just feel like if it wasn't with the leaks and everything, and the game just came out straight out, it would be. I feel like a lot of people would be still mad, but it wouldn't be like a war because of it, because the leaks made it, how it was. So I give.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought y'all were gonna be a little more harsh than that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I gotta give it like a 5.5 or a 6. Biggest reasons is because as someone, I hate to say it this way because I sound like because I'm this. I'm not trying to say that because I'm a writer and I care a lot about characters and all that stuff like that. That's like a huge part of your game, and I had no connection to these people except for Ellie. That was it. She's like the only person I had a true connection with that I cared about. And when you make like more than half of your game about these other characters and I'm not interested in the slightest, I couldn't even finish the damn game, guys. Like, what the fuck? So I got to give it like a 5.5 or a 6 because the gameplay was good and all, but it also can get repetitive as well. That's another thing too. That shit like that can get very, very repetitive. So, and also having to get new upgrades all over again with Abby, and that felt more difficult than getting Ellie's upgrades for some reason, which was kind of funny. That shit, like, she was dying quick as shit, bro. Like, if you watch my streams, like whenever a clicker walk up to her, it didn't give me the struggle time. She just, it's like, what the fuck? But yeah, so that's our opinions on The Last of Us. I actually want to talk about this topic, so this is kind of funny. So have y'all been watching any playthroughs of this game with any YouTubers or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Berlisi, I was gonna bring up Berlisi in particular, dude. His reaction to Joel's death. He's like, memorize everybody's face, baby J. You got Stan Cooch. You got this person. Like the people's reactions to this game. It's kind of cool seeing a middle road type of reactions between people, because you'll get the funny reactions, you'll get the like reactions, you'll get the hate reactions. And I think that Lydell made a really good point saying this game has got people talking in all kinds of different ways. And I just think that, like, I want to give a shout out to all Let's Players out there, you know, that are, like, playing through this and are willing to be honest and, you know, stuff like that. Because I got people that are, like, saying this is a phenomenal game. I still am one of those people who, again, it's your opinion, but I just don't see how. But I'm not going to judge you for that because, again, it's your opinion. But, like, seeing these different people play also gives me new perspective. Because I'll level with y'all. When I got to the Joel's death thing, if you went on my Twitter, the first thing I tweeted was, hey, Naughty Dog, fuck you. I deleted the tweet, but I got so mad, bro. And it was pretty hilarious. And it was funny because I'm going to tell this story. And if she watches this video, I'm not gonna say her name. But if you're watching this video, I want you to know I love you when I tell this story. I was telling this to these guys, I think. So I was talking, I tweeted that out, and I got a reply from my friend on that I know saying why. So I messaged her on Snapchat, and I go, hey, I saw you replied to my tweet. And she was like, yeah, why? I'm confused. My dad's been playing the game, and he loves it, and he's homophobic. And I was like, yeah, the leaks were all true. I'm pissed. And she goes, are you homophobic? And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, no, I'm not homophobic in the slightest. Like, what the fuck? And she was like, okay, well, then I don't understand why you're getting so mad as to tweet out to a company saying fuck you over getting mad over minor things. I was like, this shit ain't minor. And it was funny, though, because then afterwards I just didn't continue the argument. I was like, you're right, I'll just delete it. But it was so funny, though. Like,
I just thought about it. The best scene of The Last of Us 2, like, hands down, can't be beat.
Joel's death.
Abby sexy, bro. Food fire, my guy.
By the way, let me point this out. How is it
I didn't hear it.
Kelsey, how is it these people have no problem showing off Abby completely, but they're very careful about Ellie? Is it because I know exactly why. I think I know exactly why. We've seen this character as a little girl, so that would be really weird. That's fair, but it's like they wasted no time showing gratuitous nudity with Abby. I was like, what the fuck? Like, no.
I love seeing two burly men go at it, bro. It was too fun.
She's a woman, bro.
I actually want to look that up now because I don't know if that was correct. Can one of y'all look that up? Because I don't remember, but this episode's actually been kind of fun. This episode ended up being more fun than I thought it'd be, because I thought we were just gonna I should have figured y'all know how to make a good time. So yeah.
Like I said, it's we obviously we was talking about that transgender men, women, whatever, and it made it sound like
Sorry, it was like the extremely muscular physique of Abby did lead people to assume that she was a man identifying as a woman. However, this isn't the case, as she's not transgender. She's simply very muscular, which is fine.
Why'd you go British or Australian? I don't know which one that is.
She's simply very muscular, which is fine, as female bodybuilders do exist. So she's just a bodybuilder, bro.
It just looks unnatural in my opinion in that sense. Because I've seen female bodybuilders. It looks fine. I don't think it looks bad. It's just in this case with Abby in particular, she looks fucking weird.
Nah, I get scared. I get scared of female bodybuilders, bro.
They can kick my ass.
Abby, you walking past them, they just punch you in your head. You don't. You're dead.
You're fucking dead.
But female bodybuilders scare me.
Again, I've made this statement. It's just not my type. That's just not my personal type. But if y'all are into that, I don't care. It doesn't.
Because it's not your type. It'd be like people like, oh my god, you suck because you don't like.
You're a sexist or some weird shit.
Like, bro, just because I don't like female with a man body doesn't mean that I don't like females. I love females like everybody else.
Right, bro.
I mean, I am straight, so of course I like females.
And if they talk wrong to me, I just punch them in the left tit.
Damn.
That's what we do.
Subscribe. That's a bold ass statement. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to make sure I read that right, but I love the way you were extremely muscular. Like, what the hell? But I think that might be a good place to wrap up with this. What do you guys think? Is that all good? We got everything we wanted to talk about out there.
Yeah, I think as it was stated before, I would smash. Literally
What?
I would smash every chick in there.
Oh, I thought you. Oh, I thought you were about to say something. My bad. It was like you said match, and then I thought you was gonna go.
I was gonna say mad.
What the fuck?
I'm the master debater.
You know, actually, the girl who plays Dina's a YouTuber, and is playing through the first game right now.
Word.
I saw it. I'm not gonna lie, she's really cringy. I can't front, bro. I clicked on 10 seconds in. I was like, I'm out.
You destroyed my hopes.
I mean, dude, look her up. I mean, maybe you'll think you might be like, oh, that's cute. I can't do it, bro.
Why don't you do your Last of Us 2 streams? Or even your streams that you post on Twitch, on YouTube, bro?
Because number one, I didn't finish the game. Number two, because I didn't want people on YouTube getting mad at me for some of the comments I was making in there, because it would seem like I was like being, I don't know how to word it, but like I was making jokes a lot. So we making jokes here, but it's just like I just didn't want to deal with all the comments and shit from people, because I know people would give me shit. But in this case, I got to address and clarify everything prior to, so that made it easier. But again, if you guys enjoy this game and you think it's a really good game, then by all means, love this game. We don't want to take that from you. We don't want to be those people who think you can't have your own opinion. Like, that's the point of an opinion, is it's your own. You know, everybody's got different opinions. You know, you may share elements of an opinion, but for the most part, your opinion is your own. And, you know, use it. Like, have your own opinion. It's completely okay. It doesn't matter.
If you want, and I'd say I recommend playing it if okay, I would recommend if like I wouldn't recommend if you like a big Last of Us, like you like the first one, because then you most likely might not like this one. But if you play Last of Us and you're like, it was okay, cool, and you're like, maybe Last of Us 2 might be cool, people are talking, then I say you should play it.
I have a really good joke.
Story wise, not great, but
all right, so let me let y'all know, if you're the group of people that like the film Captain Marvel, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, or Birds of Prey, you'll love this game.
Hey, don't talk about Birds of Prey. Don't talk about.
Oh, I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it. We'll save that for another episode.
Just because it's Birds of Prey and they didn't really utilize Birds of Prey, right? Don't talk about
focus, bro.
Focus. The actual, like characters like they're supposed to, and not make it a Harley Quinn movie. You could have just called it.
All right. We're getting off time. I just made a joke and I didn't realize it was gonna. But no, for real though. Again, just have your own opinions, guys. Play this game if you want. I personally feel like I wasted $60, and sadly the game is downloaded, so I can't send it back, which really sucks. But it's okay. I'm getting rid of the PS4 anyways at some point, because PS5 is coming out. So that's gonna be hype. By the way, we should talk about that in another podcast episode. The PS5. If y'all be down. Honestly, I was gonna suggest after this we record another episode, because it'd be kind of fun. All right, cool. Anyways, I'm gonna end here. Thank you, Kelsey and Lydell, for being here for this episode. This has actually been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for chiming in on your opinions, because I knew for a fact if I was gonna be the only guy spouting bullshit about this game, I was gonna get comments like, "Oh, you hater!" It's like, people,
I eat it.
I was gonna. Damn it! I want to make. Never mind.
They don't use me.
All right, but yeah. Anything you guys want to shout out?
Make sure, go follow my podcast, Silent Guy Review, and MKL.
And MKL, you gotta go follow the MKL.
It's just the KL because M never there.
Okay, shut up. I actually told them that story actually on one of my podcast episodes.
But make sure y'all follow Life with Silent Guy. That's more serious and not serious, but it's pretty tough.
Would you say it's kind of similar in the sense of this format where you're talking about like stuff that you're passionate about personally and
So the first episode I interviewed Kelsey Allen here, sir, because he is going to be a director in the future, and so it's a pretty dope interview with him. And then hopefully my next one is with Mason, and so y'all should definitely check it out and take a listen. I think it's pretty fire.
All right, Kelsey, what about you?
You know, you can just hit my lineup. My number is 773.
Shut up, Kelsey. Shut up. He's desperate for a girlfriend.
You can just, you know what? Yeah, look. Any ladies out there, just send me an application. I'll sign it, send it back to you, see if you made the cut or not.
I hate this dude so much.
That's what we doing.
That's what we doing, bro. You said that. You said I should, hand one out, bro.
Hey.
So, I'm just,
Hey, calm down, man. Mason wants to do another. Calm down, okay? Calm down. Let him do his outro, okay?
No, but is there actually anything you want to shout, like Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever?
Follow me at Kelsey_Allen01. We're fire over there. I look fire. It's on Instagram.
I mean, just look at these two. These two dudes are obviously fire. They get lit, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I hate you so much. You ever notice he always does that whenever he's trying to flirt or be He's like, yeah. He always gets all up in the camera. All right, but anyways, I'm going to end here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all have enjoyed. Have a nice day. Goodbye.